2024 will forever be remembered as a year marked by nature's fury. Month after month, we witnessed disasters that reshaped lives, communities, and entire regions. From massive storms to deadly avalanches, here are the most significant disasters of the year. Let's dive in. Let's start with January. Tropical storm Alvaro slammed into Madagascar, and the destruction was swift and unforgiving. Between 5 and 19 lives were tragically lost, while over 8,400 people were forced from their homes, caught in the chaos of floods and landslides. Although no footage exists to capture its fury, we include it here as the first major disaster of the year, a stark reminder of the relentless power storms have, especially in coastal regions. January 1st, 2024 began with devastation as a powerful 7.6 earthquake struck the Noto Peninsula in Japan. Moments later, 4-meter-high tsunami waves swept through 190 hectares, swallowing Suzu and Noto in its path. This clip captures the raw, unrelenting power of nature, leaving behind a haunting reminder of the year's first tragedy. Just days later, Europe faced the wrath of Windstorm Hank, or Storm Hank, with gusts reaching 81 miles per hour. The storm uprooted trees, caused floods and power outages for 38,000 properties, and brought flooding to many areas. Tragically, 2 lives were lost, one in Gloucestershire and another in southeast London. With nearly 300 flood warnings and widespread disruption, Hank left millions grappling with its impact. Moving into February, Chile faced one of its worst wildfire disasters. Blazing through regions like Valparaiso and Biobío, the fires scorched over 64,000 hectares of land and left cities like Vina del Mar devastated. Smoke choked the skies, wildlife fled, and over 14,000 structures were destroyed. Tragically, 137 lives were lost, with more than 1,100 injuries. And 370 people still missing. Declared a state of constitutional catastrophe, the event left communities grappling with unimaginable loss and a scar that will take years to heal. February wasn't just about fire, it brought ice too. It also brought tragedy to Afghanistan, where an avalanche in Nuristan province buried villages under tons of snow.
Many more are feared dead after a devastating avalanche struck northern Afghanistan.
With 25 lives lost and 8 others injured, the destruction was immense. Rescue teams faced brutal weather and blocked roads. Making their efforts a race against time to save those trapped in the icy aftermath. By May, devastating floods hit Afghanistan and Pakistan, leaving entire villages underwater and claiming over 1,084 lives. Driven by unusual rainfall patterns, these floods caused widespread destruction. Homes were destroyed, crops lost, and livelihoods swept away. The damage was staggering, with urgent relief efforts needed to help those affected. In late April 2024, catastrophic floods hit Brazil's Rio Grande do Sul, claiming at least 181 lives.
A imagem do Globocop mostra o seguinte, gente.
Torrential rain, fueled by El Niño, submerged neighborhoods, displaced 580,000 people, and caused massive destruction, including a dam collapse. The damage? A staggering $3.7 billion. On April 3rd, 2024, A magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck near Hualien City, Taiwan, triggering widespread destruction. The quake left buildings severely damaged, with some structures tilting dangerously and roads cracked open. Over 1,100 people were injured, and the death toll reached 18. Despite the severity, Taiwan's building codes helped reduce even greater devastation. May brought one of the year's deadliest disasters, a landslide in Papua New Guinea's Enga province. Between 670 and 2,000 lives were lost as heavy rainfall triggered a massive slide. Burying over 150 homes and leaving families shattered as entire villages disappeared beneath the mud. On May 21, 2024, an EF4 tornado with 185-mile-per-hour winds tore through Greenfield, Iowa, staying on the ground for 48 minutes.
Good night. I've never been this close to a wedge.
Slow it down a little bit, it's getting strong.
It killed 5, injured 35, and caused $7.3 billion in damage. Part of a massive storm system with 248 tornadoes,
Dude, there's several windmills broke right there. One on fire, one collapsed.
this disaster left a trail of destruction and sparked urgent recovery efforts across the Midwest. Also in May, Cyclone Remal unleashed its fury across South Asia, battering coastal areas of Bangladesh and India, with winds reaching 135 kilometers per h. The cyclone claimed at least 50 lives, with many more affected by flooding, destroyed homes, and widespread power outages. Over 1 million people were evacuated, but the storm's destructive path left a lasting impact on both nations. In June, floods and landslides struck Bangladesh, particularly in Cox's Bazar, where heavy rainfall triggered deadly mudslides in Rohingya refugee camps. Tragically, 10 lives were lost, including 7 refugees. Thousands were displaced as shelters were destroyed, and rescue teams worked tirelessly amidst the devastation. The scale of destruction left communities in crisis. Hold on tight, because just when you think you've seen it all, we've got 2 bonus clips that will leave you in awe of nature's raw power. Stay tuned. From late June into July, Hurricane Beryl tore through the Caribbean and the U.S., causing widespread devastation. While the death toll was much lower than initially reported, with at least 10 confirmed fatalities, the storm's fury left thousands displaced, infrastructure wrecked, and communities reeling from its intensity. In July, Wayanad, India, was consumed by a landslide of unimaginable force, swallowing entire villages and leaving 254 confirmed dead, with over 100 missing. This torrent of earth and destruction displaced thousands. Etching a grim chapter in Kerala's history, a tragedy where the land itself seemed to rise against its people. September witnessed the fury of Super Typhoon Yagi as it tore through Southeast Asia, leaving a staggering death toll of 600 in its wake. Vietnam suffered the harshest blow, with entire communities swallowed by floods and landslides.
Về mặt y tế, chúng tôi cũng xin được cập nhật thêm thông tin từ
One of the most devastating storms in decades, Yagi etched its name in history through destruction and despair. Also in September, Hurricane Helene unleashed its fury on the southeastern U.S., carving a path of chaos and destruction.
It's let loose. Oh, that's not great.
With 89 lives lost, millions plunged into darkness, and entire communities submerged under relentless flooding.
A rushing river of rubble.
First, there was a lot of
The storm left a haunting mark, shattering homes and futures while causing billions in catastrophic damage. Between October 29th and November 16, 2024, Spain faced one of its most devastating natural disasters. As catastrophic floods swept through the country, claiming 231 lives. Torrential downpours turned streets into raging rivers, submerging neighborhoods, tearing apart infrastructure, and leaving behind an economic toll of over 3.5 billion euros dollars. The relentless deluge pushed communities to the brink, reshaping landscapes and lives in its wake. On October 9th, 2024, Hurricane Milton's 180-mile-per-hour winds and catastrophic flooding struck Siesta Key, Florida.
Talk to me a little bit, you guys. This is Amy joining Trent and Andrew. Talk to me about...
This clip captures the sheer destructive power of the storm, a haunting reminder of nature's fury. Finally, in a devastating turn of events, Typhoon Moines unleashed its fury on the Philippines in mid-November 2024. With winds howling at 240 kilometers per h, the super typhoon tore through the region, leaving 14 dead and displacing millions. As the storm approached, authorities evacuated hundreds of thousands, but the relentless power of Moines,
the extremely high winds just sweeping into the town of Hernani on the island of Samar,
tested the limits of the region's resilience as entire communities were submerged and homes were obliterated. On December 17, 2024, a 7.3 magnitude earthquake hit Port Vila, Vanuatu, causing widespread destruction. At least 12 lives were lost and over 200 people were injured. Thousands were displaced as buildings collapsed and landslides blocked roads.
Oh!
A state of emergency was declared, and relief efforts surged. Just 5 days later, a 6.1 aftershock hit. Adding more stress to an already struggling region. The road to recovery is long, but Vanuatu is fighting back. And now, here's a treat for you. 2 bonus clips that showcase nature's crazy power in 2024. First, in Fort Lauderdale, a massive tornado touched down in January, wreaking havoc across the area.
On our thing! Do you see it, Brittany? I'm watching.
No casualties, thankfully, but the destruction was shocking.
Should probably go.
Go where? Oh my God.
Not being here.
Trees snapped like twigs, and buildings were left in pieces. Next, in Des Moines, another tornado made its mark on July, leaving behind a trail of chaos. While there were no deaths, the storm's intensity was unmistakable, with overturned cars and ripped-up infrastructure. These clips really put into perspective the overwhelming force nature can unleash. As we close out this year, these devastating events remind us of nature's sheer power. If these clips left you in awe, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping content. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the new year for even more incredible footage.